This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Well, T.I. is not the king of the South. It's really Rick Ross. I bet you that triggered some of you guys out there, okay? Now, I think this is up for a real debate. I mean, both of these guys made impacts at different times. Now, T.I.'s first album was a true, genuine flop. It's called I'm Serious. Nobody cared about that album. Nobody cared about T.I. until 2003 when he came out with Trap Music. That was his breakout album. I'm Serious was like he was still trying to find himself. I think he describes it as like the label found him and wanted to, they try and kind of force the whole thing, and he wasn't able to be himself until he did. It wasn't working, and he just took his destiny in his own hands and made trap music, and obviously that worked, okay? And then right after that, right around that same time, we got Jeezy and other people. Now, let's think about this. So T.I. had a good run. He had Trap Music in 2003, Urban Legend, which is arguably probably a classic album for the South. And when I say for the South, T.I. and Rick Ross can go toe-to-toe with anybody in New York, lyrically. Like, they got it. They're good. So T.I. had Trap Music, Urban Legend, King, Paper Trail, and T.I. versus Tip. So he had like 4 really great albums, like amazing albums. After that, it was 2008 and he went to jail. He started getting into, he was in jail before then, but this was a real case. And I think this kind of derailed him a little bit as far as musically. He was getting into movies around this time. Whenever you start getting your focus off of music and doing other stuff, not saying you can't do other stuff, but when you start doing too much other stuff, it starts to take away from the main thing. Your focus isn't 100% on music anymore. It's 50% on music, 50% on television, or, you could spread it on different things. Now, Rick Ross came in around 2005, 6-ish with, I'm Hustling. And he had a lot of great albums. But he did have a fall-off point. He did Port of Miami in 2006. Breakout. Then, let's see. What was the one after that one? Because he had that T-Pain song, Trilla. Trilla came out around 2008. That was good. His weak album was in 2009. Yeah, Deeper Than Rap. That was weak. Even though people liked it, I didn't like it. Okay, Deeper Than Rap was like, this is around the time when he felt like it was kind of, he was doing the dip. But 1 year later, he decided to diss 50 Cent, and he totally went in a new direction. This is when he reorganized Maybach Music Group. We'll get to the artists these rappers put on before then. So, but in a minute, Teflon Don was like his... So he made 2 impacts. When he first came out, that was big, okay? And then when he dropped Teflon Don with the BMF song and everything, he was here. This is when he reorganized Maybach Music Group. Now, he had Torch... Gunplay, he had these guys around him. Around this time, he kind of reorganized and got rid of everybody and signed. He signed Omarion, Wale, Meek Mill, and some other, Sadali and some other people that didn't make it. But Wale and Meek Mill were already kind of moving. Meek Mill was already Meek Mill in Philly, and Wale was already Wale. Period. He had already been on tour with Lady Gaga. So he formed a unit that was already working, basically brought him over, and, they got some of his mojo that was going on. And it all worked. And then after that, he dropped Rich Forever, which Mastermind. He had God Forgives, I Don't. He had a bunch of mixtapes, Hood Billionaire. He had a bunch of ones that were classics, and he kind of stopped around 2015, 16. It was like, it's not as good anymore. But it's always Rick Ross. Who did T.I. put on? T.I. put on, of course, Young Dro. Okay, that's his guy. and he was obviously had a bunch of hits. So Young Dro was a great sign. And then, he had like Young LA and artists like that he co-signed that were already kind of moving in the city. Iggy Azalea, I have to say that he co-signed her. Travis Scott co-signed it, but Travis Scott was already moving on his own. He just kind of like, hey, get over here, and like signed him. Iggy Azalea, I would have to say he really gave her a lot of clout. She didn't have any clout, so I'll really give him that one. He really got her to another level. So, who's the real king of the South? I think they're equal, just different times. They're 3 years apart as far as when they really arrived in the game. I mean, T.I. came in 2001, so you could say 5 years, but T.I.'s first album was like trash. He didn't become T.I. until 2003 to me. And Rick Ross had 2 rebirths. They're both very successful, and this is the verses everybody should see. T.I.'s going after 50 Cent. That's not really in his category, period. It wouldn't compare right. I think T.I. needs to define he's really king of the South at this point, because I think he lost the title. He lost the King of the South belt around 2010 to Rick Ross. Rick Ross took over. Just like, don't forget, Rick Ross dissed T.I. before he came in the game. I'll link that below. Rick Ross is saying, how you going to call yourself King of the South is disrespectful to Scarface, Pimp C, Bun B, and he's right. He's right. There would be no T.I. without Scarface, Bun B, and Pimp C, right? Little Flip is the only person that T.I. responded to when he was challenged for King of the South. But when Rick Ross said something, he didn't say anything back. Isn't that funny? I'm not saying Rick Ross is anybody to be scared. I'm just saying I don't think he felt lyrically he could go back and forth with Rick Ross. That's interesting. So, who is King of the South? Rick Ross or T.I.? Just because T.I. coined the term early and had the nerve to call himself King of the South. That doesn't mean he's King of the South. You're just brainwashed into thinking he is, because he brainwashed you. Smart marketing on T.I.'s part, I have to say. Anyways, guys, tell me what you guys think. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. I will check you guys in the next one. It's an interesting topic. Get below. I'll respond. I'm open to being wrong. And don't be disrespectful. This is a respectful conversation. Peace.